Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. I'm telling you today, there is power in trust. There's power in knowing that when you put your faith in the one who made you, nothing can stop you. A woman who trusts God, truly trusts Him, will ever be put to shame. You see, trust is not a passive thing. Trust is active. It's standing firm when life throws curveballs at you, when people doubt you, when the world tells you to quit. Trust is digging deep into that unwavering faith, knowing that God's plan is bigger than any challenge that comes your way. Now let me tell you something, God's timing, it's perfect. You might not see it right now, but believe me, it's all coming together. The setbacks, they're just setups for comebacks. Keep your eyes on Him, and He will open doors you never thought possible. You got to have that peace, that divine peace that doesn't make sense to the world. When everybody around you is losing their mind, you stand strong. You trust in Him, and that peace will guard your heart. That's what makes you untouchable. That's what makes you a force to be reckoned with. Fear, that's not for you. When you trust in God, fear doesn't have a place in your life. You're walking through this world like a lion, not because you're strong on your own, but because the Creator of the universe has your back. You will not be afraid. You will not be shaken. You're destined for greatness. Every trial you've faced, every tear you've cried, it's been a part of your preparation. Trust in the fact that what you're going through right now is leading you to your breakthrough. You're about to see things that others only dream about. And when you trust God, you don't just get through. It's like you thrive. You inspire, you show others what real faith looks like. People look at you and say, if she can do it, so can I. You're not just walking, you're leading the way. So remember, trust is not just a word, it's a way of life. And when you trust God, know this, you will never be put to shame. You will rise, you will conquer, you will overcome, because He's with you, and He will never let you fall. Stay faithful, stay strong, keep trusting. Unwavering faith is a conviction that transcends doubt and fear, a deep-rooted belief in the power and promises of God that stands firm no matter the circumstances. It is the kind of faith that doesn't falter when life presents challenges, hardships, or uncertainty. It is an internal resolve that no external situation can sway. A woman with unwavering faith knows that while the storms of life may rage, her trust in God will never be moved. She anchors herself in the truth that God is always with her, guiding her every step, even when the path isn't clear. This kind of faith is not just a momentary belief. It is a lifestyle, a daily commitment to trust in God's sovereignty, even when things are not going as planned. This faith is a source of strength in the most difficult of times. It empowers a woman to rise above her circumstances, to continue moving forward, even when it feels impossible. She believes that every setback is a setup for a comeback, that God is using every experience, good or bad, to shape her for something greater. Unwavering faith doesn't rely on visible signs or immediate answers. It trusts in the unseen, in God's perfect timing, and in His ability to make a way where there seems to be no way. This kind of faith is also marked by patience. It waits on God's promises without forcing or manipulating outcomes. It is a faith that is not shaken by temporary failures or delays, but remains confident in the knowledge that God is faithful to fulfill every word He has spoken. It's a faith that is rooted deep within, so even in moments of doubt or struggle, it cannot be uprooted. It is unshakable, immovable, and eternal. God's timing is often a concept that tests our patience and challenges our understanding. It doesn't always align with our own sense of urgency or the timeline we have in mind. But in reality, God's timing is perfect, even when it feels like things are moving too slowly or not happening fast enough. A woman who trusts in God learns to embrace this truth. He knows the exact moment when everything will come together, and his plan for her life is unfolding at the right pace. It's about knowing that he sees the bigger picture, something we might not yet fully comprehend. When life doesn't go according to our schedule, it can be frustrating, but it's also an opportunity to grow in faith and trust. God's timing ensures that we are prepared for what's ahead, that we are spiritually and emotionally equipped to handle the blessings and challenges he has in store for us. What may seem like a delay is often just a season of preparation, a time to strengthen our character, build our faith, and deepen our relationship with him. We may not see it in the moment, but looking back, we will recognize how every piece of the puzzle fell into place exactly when it was meant to. This timing also shows us that God's plan is far greater than any plan we could ever create on our own. His timing is not bound by human limitations, and it often exceeds our expectations. He opens doors when the time is right, and he closes others to protect us. Trusting God's timing is an act of surrender, of letting go of our control and allowing him to lead us according to his divine wisdom and purpose. It's a recognition that his timing is always worth the wait. Strength in adversity is a profound manifestation of the power that comes from trusting God, especially in the most difficult times. Life doesn't always unfold smoothly, and challenges can often feel overwhelming. But a woman who trusts in God draws from a well of divine strength when facing trials. It's not the absence of struggle that defines her, but the resilience she demonstrates in the face of hardship. Strength in adversity is about standing firm when everything around you is crumbling, holding on to the belief that even in the toughest moments, God is present, guiding, and sustaining you. This strength is forged through the process of facing and overcoming obstacles, relying not on her own ability, but on the power and grace of God. It's in the moments of pain, loss, or uncertainty that a woman's faith is truly tested. Yet, through these struggles, she discovers a strength that she never knew existed, an unshakable resolve to continue pressing forward, knowing that God has equipped her for this very moment. It is a strength that is not dependent on circumstances, but on the unchanging nature of God's promises. In adversity, her faith becomes her anchor. She may feel weak, but she knows that God's strength is made perfect in her weakness. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to witness his provision and care. Her strength comes not from avoiding pain, but from enduring it with grace, trusting that God will use every experience to build her character and prepare her for what's ahead. This strength is not about avoiding the storms, but about learning to stand tall in the midst of them, knowing that with God, she is never alone. Divine protection is a profound assurance that no matter where life leads, God's presence surrounds and shields a woman from harm. It is a constant, unyielding force, a spiritual safeguard that provides peace in the midst of chaos and security in uncertain times. A woman who trusts God knows that she is never truly alone and that His protection is always at work, even when she cannot see it. This protection goes beyond physical safety. It encompasses emotional, mental, and spiritual safeguarding, ensuring that she remains intact in the face of adversity. God's divine protection is a promise that He will shield His children from dangers, seen and unseen. Whether it's the threat of external forces or the internal struggles that often plague the mind, this protection provides a blanket of security that nothing can pierce. It's not a guarantee that life will be free of difficulties, but rather an assurance that through every challenge, God is watching over her. His protection isn't just a passive force. It actively defends and guides her through perilous situations, keeping her on the right path and away from harm. In moments of uncertainty, she can take comfort in knowing that God's angels are surrounding her, guarding her steps, and making a way where there seems to be no way. Whether it's in physical danger or emotional distress, she can rest knowing that God's divine protection will not allow anything to overpower her faith. It is a protection that doesn't just shield her body, but fortifies her heart, providing the strength to face whatever lies ahead with courage and assurance. This divine covering reassures her that she is always in God's care and that no weapon formed against her shall prosper. A woman who trusts in God becomes a living testimony to those around her, inspiring others by the way she lives, stands, and overcomes. Her faith is contagious, radiating through her actions, words, and presence. When others witness her unwavering trust in God, they are drawn to the source of her strength and resilience. It's in the way she walks through life's storms with grace and composure, knowing that God is with her every step of the way, that others begin to see the true power of faith. Her life becomes a beacon of hope to those who may be struggling or questioning their own journey. In times of personal hardship or challenge, a woman who trusts God shows those around her that it is possible to remain steadfast even when faced with the most difficult of circumstances. Her ability to persevere in faith, to continue moving forward despite the odds, encourages others to do the same. They see how she rises after falling, how she finds strength in weakness, and how she leans on God for wisdom and direction. This example becomes a source of motivation for others who are walking similar paths. Moreover, her words of encouragement, rooted in her own experiences of trusting God, offer comfort and reassurance to those who may feel lost or discouraged. She speaks life into their situations, reminding them that God is faithful and that no trial is permanent. Her trust in God becomes a living, breathing example of His power to transform lives, inspiring others to deepen their own relationship with Him. Her influence spreads beyond her immediate circle as her faith ignites a spark in the hearts of others, leading them to seek the same unshakable trust in God. Peace beyond understanding is a deep, unexplainable calm that a woman experiences when she trusts God with her life, regardless of her circumstances. It is not a peace that the world can give or that can be understood through logic or reason. In times of turmoil, uncertainty, or fear, this peace rises above the noise of anxiety and doubt, and it becomes a refuge in the storm. It's a supernatural peace that defies the expectations of those around her. Because while others might be shaken or overwhelmed by challenges, she remains steady, anchored in the belief that God is in control. This peace is not born from external circumstances being perfect or things going as planned, but from a deep internal trust that God's presence is constant and his promises are true. When a woman trusts in God, she understands that no matter what she faces, God's peace will guard her heart and mind. It's a peace that surpasses her ability to comprehend why everything is happening the way it is, but she knows that God is working things together for her good. Even in the midst of loss, disappointment, or fear, this peace remains unshaken, providing comfort and assurance that everything will ultimately work out as God intends. In moments of hardship, others may look at her and wonder how she can stay so calm, how she can still smile, how she can face the impossible with hope. The answer is that this peace is a gift from God. It's the kind of peace that transcends human understanding because it is rooted in the unchanging nature of God's love and faithfulness. It's a peace that allows her to move forward in confidence, knowing that no matter what the future holds, she is held securely in his hands. Fearlessness is the bold courage that a woman who trusts in God carries with her, regardless of the challenges or uncertainties she faces. It's not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward in spite of it. Fear may come knocking, but trust in God creates a shield of confidence that empowers her to stand firm. She understands that the fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown does not define her. Rather, her identity is rooted in the truth that God has called her for a purpose and will never leave her side. Fearlessness arises from the knowledge that God is always present, and with him, there is nothing to fear. A woman who trusts God doesn't allow the limitations of this world to hold her back. She steps into her purpose with boldness, knowing that God's plans for her are greater than any obstacle she might face. Fearlessness is born from a deep, unshakable faith in the one who has overcome the world. When others may hesitate, when they may doubt or shrink back, she walks forward in confidence, trusting that God has equipped her with everything she needs to succeed. This kind of fearlessness is not reckless or naive, but it is grounded in wisdom and discernment. It is the ability to take risks, to pursue dreams, and to make decisions based on faith rather than fear. When obstacles arise, fearlessness enables her to see them as opportunities for growth, not threats. She knows that with God by her side, no challenge is too great and no fear is too powerful to hold her back from her destiny. Fearlessness is the steady, unwavering courage that comes from knowing that God's love and protection are more than enough to conquer any fear. A woman who trusts in God finds her purpose and direction, not in the shifting winds of the world, but in the steady and unchanging guidance of his will. She understands that her life is not random or accidental, but part of a greater plan designed by her Creator. Trusting God means she believes that he has uniquely equipped her with the gifts, talents, and experiences needed to fulfill her purpose, and that her journey is leading her exactly where she needs to be. Even when the path is unclear or difficult, she holds on to the assurance that God is guiding every step. Purpose and direction come from an intimate relationship with God, where she listens for his voice and follows his leading, even when it takes her into unfamiliar territory. This trust provides clarity and confidence, allowing her to move forward even when the road ahead seems uncertain. While the world may present many options and distractions, a woman who trusts God is able to discern His will, understanding that her purpose is defined by His calling, not by society's expectations or pressures. As she steps into her purpose, she feels a sense of peace and fulfillment that surpasses the fleeting satisfaction of worldly achievements. Her direction is not determined by her own plans or desires, but by the divine purpose God has set before her. She knows that with each step she takes, God is leading her closer to the destiny He has prepared. Even in moments of doubt or difficulty, she remains focused on the ultimate goal, fulfilling her God-given purpose and walking in the direction He has set for her life. This trust in His plan gives her the courage to take bold steps, knowing that His direction is always leading her toward growth, fulfillment, and impact. Breakthroughs are the moments of divine intervention and transformation that occur when a woman who trusts in God remains steadfast, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. These breakthroughs are not always immediate, but they are the result of relentless faith, patience, and perseverance. A woman who trusts God believes that no situation is beyond His ability to change, and this belief fuels her determination to press forward, even in the face of adversity. The breakthrough often comes when she has reached a point where giving up might seem like the easier option, but her trust in God pushes her to keep going. These breakthroughs are often the culmination of a process, one that involves growth, learning, and deepening faith. When the world tells her that success is impossible, she knows that God specializes in making the impossible possible. A breakthrough is more than just a solution to a problem. It's a moment of revelation where she sees God's hand at work, confirming that He has been with her all along. In these moments, the challenges she once faced seem small compared to the greatness of what God has brought her through. Through trusting God, she gains the courage to step into new opportunities, tackle seemingly impossible goals, and overcome fears that once held her back. Each breakthrough strengthens her faith and equips her to face future challenges with confidence. Her testimony becomes a witness to others, showing that breakthroughs are not just for a chosen few, but for anyone who trusts in God's timing and His perfect plan. These moments of divine breakthrough not only change her life, but also inspire others to believe that with God, anything is possible. Unshakable hope is the firm, unwavering confidence that a woman who trusts in God carries within her, even when the world around her seems uncertain or bleak. This hope is not based on circumstances, but on the promises of God, who is faithful and true. It is the kind of hope that remains intact in the face of adversity, knowing that no matter what happens, God's plans for her are always good, and He will never leave her. Unshakable hope comes from the deep, rooted belief that God is working in her life, even when the path is unclear or the waiting seems long. It is a hope that rises above discouragement and doubt, refusing to be swayed by the temporary struggles or setbacks that may come her way. This hope is built on the understanding that God's timing and purposes are perfect. She knows that while the present may be challenging, there is a greater future ahead designed by God Himself. Unshakable hope doesn't deny the reality of difficulties. Instead, it faces them head on, knowing that God is in control. It is the kind of hope that looks beyond the immediate and anticipates the blessings and breakthroughs that are sure to come in God's perfect time. This hope gives her the strength to endure hardships with joy, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and that God is using every moment for her good. In the face of uncertainty, a woman who has unshakable hope continues to move forward, trusting that God is with her every step of the way. It is a hope that does not waver, even when the future seems uncertain, because she knows that her future is secure in God's hands. Unshakable hope is not just a feeling, but a choice, a daily decision to trust God's goodness and faithfulness, no matter the circumstances. When a woman places her trust in God, she is equipped with a strength and resilience that cannot be shaken. Her unwavering faith, rooted in the belief that God's timing is always perfect, carries her through every storm. She walks through life with fearlessness, knowing that divine protection surrounds her, and her purpose and direction are led by His hand. In moments of struggle, she finds peace beyond understanding and inspires others with her example of trust and perseverance. Through every challenge, breakthrough, and victory, her unshakable hope remains a testimony to the power of God's promises. The road may not always be easy, and the trials may seem overwhelming, but when a woman trusts God, she never walks alone. Her faith provides the courage to face anything that comes her way, knowing that His strength will carry her through. In the end, it is through this trust that she finds the purpose and direction that lead to a life full of breakthroughs, peace, and unimaginable grace. With God, she is unstoppable, and her journey will always be one of victory.